Hi, I'm Katie Corrado, and I am here to interview the lovely Katie Couric for the New York Women in Communications Video Mosaics Gallery.
You forgot the lovely and talented.
The lovely and talented. How could I forget?
Thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
I started as a desk assistant at ABC News in Washington back in the day. It feels like the dark ages because I was actually changing the teletype machine with little white gloves. This was before, we were still using electric typewriters. I'm that old. So it was a very humbling experience because I graduated from college and I was ready to take on the world. And yet I was in a job where I was Xeroxing, making coffee, and passing out rundowns to producers. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to be doing, but I realized, gee, I'm with all these incredible people who are so talented. I observed Ted Koppel when Nightline began, and it was America held hostage during the Iranian hostage crisis. I watched him anchor. I watched the reporters do their stories. Sam Donaldson whisked me off to a White House press conference. I mean, it was such an incredible learning experience, and people really are willing to help you if you just are willing to ask for it. When I was a desk assistant at ABC News in Washington, I remember writing all these story ideas for 2020. One was on compulsive gambling. It was just, I wrote this whole list. And I went up to a producer and slash reporter and knocked on his door and walked in and said, I've got all these ideas for 2020 I'd like to show you. And I could tell from the way he reacted that he was impressed that I took the initiative to do that. If you're interested and you're passionate and you care about improving yourself, I think you really stand apart from someone who's just doing the bare minimum.
It seems like these days women are in constant competition with each other, especially in an industry as cutthroat as media. Why is it so important that women collaborate and work together rather than work against each other?
It's a very competitive world for men and women these days. And so I don't think women alone are competitive or cutthroat. I think there's enough of that to go around and spread evenly between the genders. Having mentors, having people help you and sort of elevate you as you work your way through the ranks.
Who were your mentors or role models growing up?
When I grew up and went to college and started out in television, I certainly looked up to Jane Pauley on the Today Show, Barbara Walters, who's such a pioneer in television news. I remember seeing Diane Sawyer cover the White House, and this was before I thought I would ever have an opportunity to be an on-air reporter. I went into TV news in 1980, and it was really at a time when many people wanted to keep the broads out of broadcasting. So I think things have changed dramatically, but early on, I think I faced some sexism. People in pretty important positions making comments about my breast size. I know. Yeah, go figure. And, all sorts of other things that were really demeaning and demoralizing. So I worked very hard and I sacrificed a fair amount, certainly in my 20s. I think it's critically important for young women and young men to see women in leadership positions and positions of power. One of the reasons I wanted to be the first solo female anchor of the CBS Evening News is I thought it was a very important message to send to people that a woman on her own, without a co-anchor, could do that job with confidence and competence. I have been successful beyond my wildest dreams, and I feel so blessed and privileged to have had the opportunities I've had. I think part of it, quite frankly, is timing, but it can't be timing alone. It also has to be a passion for what you do, and it also has to be, in my view, the result of hard work.